Hi everyone, it's Anthony here from Anthony's Hobby Corner. Hope you're all keeping safe. Most of my videos I've been shooting so far have been on model railroading, and that's because it's one of the hobbies I'm really into. But I'm also into anything to do with radio control or RC. And so I figured since summertime is rolling around, I might as well shoot some videos of some of the vehicles I have and I plan to take out and use this summer, and perhaps start another playlist based on RC. Actually, I've been into RC far earlier than getting into model railroading. We started off in the humble days of the days when Tamiya and Kyosho, etc., had those electric RC vehicles, and even Nico was also in the picture at that time. But from there, I moved into nitro aircraft and also nitro helicopters, and from there switched over to RC boats, and then moved into electric aircraft, and then electric cars. But I found the electric cars really weren't as enjoyable as nitro and gas. So in 2008, I decided to get the vehicle on the far right, which is the Traxxas Tmax 2.5. At this time, Traxxas and HPI were the biggest players in 1/8 and 1/10 scale nitro trucks, and so most people either went for the HPI Savage or the Traxxas Tmax. I like the Tmax because it had an electric start built into it, so much easier to crank it over as opposed to the drill and the rod that you have to use on the HPIs. And this one is a Tmax 2.5. I believe it's the second generation. The first one is a Tmax 1.5, if I recall. But everything on these vehicles are original. All my RC stuff really are. I keep them original. I don't really modify them unless it's for protection purposes or longevity purposes from that standpoint. All you RC buffs will probably resonate that this is considered a classic right now. The 2.5 has been a flagship vehicle that's been used in many races and so on. And now I believe they have the 3.3 and some newer additions. They even have the electric Emaxes as well. But in any case, I'll just take the cover off and share with you really quickly. Again, to show you that everything is stock in here. It needs to be cleaned up. It's not been run for a while now, but I need to give it a thorough cleanup and get it back on the dirt again. This one has the standard 2-speed forward transmission and 1 reverse gear as well. Enhanced the cooling head on it, so it actually cools the engine much better. And as I said, those are the only enhancements I put in here. And I also have an RD Logix exhaust that I put in here as well, because it was just getting a little too gunky and messy at the back there. So this one has a dual exhaust tips at the back that diverts the burnt gases around the back. Also put in a wheelie bar because I noticed that this one had a lot of torque and it would just pop over quite easily. So as well, so I put in a wheelie bar on there. And for electronic protection purposes, I got a Venom failsafe on there as well. And this one is a nitro engine, and it takes nitro fuel. And it's a 4-wheel drive vehicle with a central differential. So it's a really amazing vehicle, and it was really a lot of fun playing with these ones. But I soon wanted to move into 1/5 scale gasoline because they're easy to maintain and run. So looking for the opportunity to move into 1/5 scale, I decided to go with this beauty over here. I love this truck. It's my favorite actually. It's a HPI Baja 5SC, and the 5 stands for 1/5 scale obviously, and the SC stands for short course truck, to mimic the short course racing circuit. And these are amazingly built vehicles. The HPIs and the low Cs were pretty much the flagship at the time, and the dominant in the market at the time. And I purchased this one in 2012, I believe. And at the time, HPI was I think perhaps responsible for the explosion of the 1/5 scale gasoline market. Now, precursor to that, a while ago, Traxxas had one gasoline-powered buggy, but it was just a one-off, and they never actually continued with that model thereafter. And since then, it's been HPI that came up with the 5th scale buggies and trucks that really took over the market at that point. As I said, this is a short course truck. The chassis underneath is identical to the buggy that you're seeing here. I'll talk about that in a second. But this is the first generation of the short course truck, and I'm just going to take the cover off here for a second so you can see the insides. And this one I ran last season, and I needed to actually give it a good cleanup, but didn't get a chance to do that. So I will be cleaning it up again. That's why it looks kind of gunky inside here, because I gave it a good run in the dirt last season. So this one actually has a 26cc Fuelie engine on it, and that's stock, by the way, and everything on this vehicle is stock. Not made any changes at all to it, except I put a little bit of a dual exhaust routing mechanism behind the stock exhaust, just to route the gunk away from the chassis, so it's much easier to clean. But I've removed that, actually disconnected that right now as well. So this one is the short course truck version. So basically these are the add-on skirts to help hold the short course shell on it. And this one is a 2-stroke gasoline engine. It requires the oil and fuel mixture, 35:1 ratio. If you'd notice, I've actually pulled out the air filter. I'm just cleaning that right now as well, so it's going to have a fresh start for this here. I'm going to be taking this outside, giving it a good thorough clean, and then we'll be taking it out on the dirt and turf, and I'll take some video of that as well. So the short course trucks actually came with slightly larger wheels, and those are the only main differences, I believe, was just the wheels and the skirting around it to help, and the mud flaps at the back, and then the bumpers at the back and the front as well. Amazing truck. I've really enjoyed this a lot since 2012, and again, many people have modified these by putting on more powerful engines and fancy exhausts, etc. I might look at a tune port exhaust, but other than that, I like to keep things fairly stock, because I don't really raise it. I really enjoy running it in the backyard and in the dirt and so on. Now this one, the low C, obviously is, I believe, a 4-wheel drive version they came out with, but this is a 2-wheel drive buggy, and it has a single differential with a clutch mechanism on the side here, and a disc brake as well. The suspension is amazing. It provides amazing amount of travel for a buggy, and that's what you really need. And so the same mechanism has been deployed on the truck as what we have on the buggy as well. And there are many modifications that people put on these vehicles, with 4-wheel disc brake systems and various gear ratios for the transmission, etc. But again, this one I have it fairly stock. But I will take some more video once I have it all cleaned out. Okay, and what we have here pretty much is the catalyst that got the 1/5 scale explosion going here from HPI. This is the original HPI Baja 5B, and this is a buggy that they came out with. This is what actually captured the market. This one is clean, because I basically did clean it up after the last run. And now this one's ready for another season again. And as you can see, this one I actually got it in 2013, and I got this off the used market as well. And so reason I got this one is because I wanted to have another one that I can race with my son, and we can actually take it out there and have some backyard bashing with my son. So this one here, as you can see, this one came with a 23cc Fuelie engine. So the original engine is a little bit smaller. Then they went to a slightly bigger 26cc engine for the truck. But again, both engines and all components on this vehicle is absolutely stock. There's been no modifications to it at all. The only thing I really changed was the back tires. They were worn down a bit, so I put some new aftermarket tires on there. But other than that, everything is stock, and they both run really well. Now, one thing good about HPI products is that, you know, they're solid, they're well known in the industry, and if you maintain them and take care of them, they will just give you a lifetime of enjoyment. So today there are many players in the 1/5 scale domain. You've got, I mean, Losi's been there a while as well, but it really exploded with HPI, and of course Losi got in there as well with their Losi 5, and they also have another buggy as well, and of course you have other players as such as Kraken in there, and a few others as well. And of course we all know the originals that came out from Germany was the FGs, and those were the real original 1/5 scales, but I don't believe they were as popular here in Canada. But it's HPI and Losi that really took over the market over here. Now the buggy was so popular when it came out, the HPI Baja 5B. There are the versions that came out with the 5SS, etc., with additional enhancements. But at the same time, there were other manufacturers that replicated this buggy, one for one, and made some identical buggies that look very hard to differentiate between the original HPI and the knockoffs. And so some of them are, for example, Rowan and King Motor came up with identical looking buggies. Now the beauty about that too is that obviously their parts are interchangeable with HPI. If you're having a hard time finding some HPI parts, you can use Rowan parts on there. But what I've heard, obviously they're much cheaper than getting an HPI. But of course, I think the build quality speaks for itself. Many people still enjoy them. They run well, and what you get what you pay for, I believe. But I haven't owned a Rowan or a King Motor, so I really can't honestly give an honest opinion. But all I can say is that the HPI products are well built, and they do have they are reliable, and they run well all the time. So just be aware if you're looking to get one of these buggies. They don't make them anymore, but you can see plenty of Rowan and King Motor ones out there, so you have to be careful and differentiate between the originals and some of the replicas. So I'm hoping to start a new playlist for RC, and hoping to connect with other fellow enthusiasts who are into 1/5 scale RC vehicles, and enjoy the hobby collectively. So stay tuned. I'll be putting some more videos on these vehicles as I enjoy them this summer. Thank you.